Welcome back to Mornings with Dave King and Matt Martin. We have the Car Pro Jerry Reynolds on the line right now, and Jerry, it's great to hear from you. How's life in Dallas, Texas?
Well, it was 79 degrees here yesterday afternoon, and not much of a winter so far.
Nice day to get out of the house.
Yeah, it was. It was beautiful, and it's supposed to be that way again today. And then everything breaks loose tomorrow, and we're back to normal.
Yeah.
But been a good week for me. I'm on the third one of four of the new General Motors big SUVs that are being built here in North Texas.
Yeah, you got a series going on here.
Yeah, I do. And I wanted it that way. I mean, they're so popular in this part of the country. You know, I just felt like I needed to see what the differences are. I've had the Tahoe and the Suburban. Now this week, the Yukon. And this is the Yukon Denali, which is sort of a sporty version. It's got the big 6.2-liter V8 with 420 horses. It's got some of the same features as the others that I drove, but there are differences as well. The big difference on the inside is the touchscreen where you operate everything on the Tahoe and Suburban set up really high on the dash. I mean, it was just like it almost looked like it was aftermarket. You know, it worked great, but just looking at it, you'd go, "Wow, that's an add-on." And with this GMC Yukon, it sets down into the dash, which is pretty cool. I think it looks better, and it is definitely easier to reach and operate. I told you guys about the sliding power center console in the Tahoe, where you push a button and the console that sits between the two front seats slides back about 2 foot. And this has got that as well, which is kind of nice. Neat feature, kind of blows people's mind because nobody's ever seen that before. I certainly haven't. And then, you know, the ride and the drive is really good. The power's great. The gas mileage isn't. There's just, you know, there's a lot to like about this thing.
So,
hey, Jerry, you know, I've always liked that GMC. You say this is the Denali?
Yes, Denali.
Okay, yeah, this is the Tahoe.
Yeah, it is.
If it were a Chevy. But I've always liked the look of those things. You know, one of the things I wanted to ask you about, I was noticing in the photos that you sent us, of course, it's got a great big display, I guess, for your. And you know, I have an SUV that has that big display, and I find it probably half the time it's useless because of the way the sun shines in. Is that typical with all of them?
You do. You'll always find that to a degree. Absolutely. It's just kind of part of it. You know, some are worse than others. I've experienced. This one is not too bad, but I've seen some that were just horrible. You know, you really got to take action by putting your hand up or whatever. Now,
yeah.
So many of the vehicles today, you can operate so much of it from the steering wheel, and once you get used to doing that, you will always. It's like volume control on the radio. You know, you can reach over and do it, or you can do it with thumb from the steering wheel, which is what I do and what most people do. So you get used to it. But there's also, you know, brightness settings. This one's got the head-up display that puts the speed of the vehicle and the speed limit up on the windshield, which I always love. Heated and cooled seats, of course. It's got it all.
Yeah. Well, you know, let me ask you something. I've got this car I have, this SUV, has more gadgets on it than I would have ever imagined. And I'm not totally ignorant when it comes to digital stuff. I mean, I am old, but still, I was driving along the other day, and it has this lane assist. You know, it's when you change lanes, it'll beep at you, and it will pull the car back on. I don't remember what they call that. I think it's some kind of lane assist. Well, I don't know how I turned it on. I have turned it on and played with it before, months ago, and it's something I don't particularly want, and I'm not going to use. But the other day, I was driving along, and the lane assist was on, and it kept beeping at me. Every time I changed lanes, it tried to force me back in the. Anyway, I could not figure out how to turn this thing off.
Yeah, but if you turn the signal light on, it's supposed to deactivate that, right?
No, I don't think.
Well,
so.
y'all are talking two different things here.
Oh, okay.
You're talking blind spot monitor, Dave. Which, yes. Matt, you're talking. Sorry, you're talking blind spot monitoring, where if you don't turn your blinker on, it'll beep at you if somebody's in your blind spot, or if you're not, if you don't use your blinker. What Dave's talking about is lane keep assist, which will, and this is becoming a really popular option, that if you stray out of your lane, it'll put you right back in your lane.
Yeah, and that's what it does. And it was driving me crazy.
I turn that off.
I could not figure
no matter
out how
what
to
I'm
turn
driving,
it off.
I turn that off. I hate that.
Yeah, I do too usually. But I turned it on and off before. But it took me 2 days to figure out how to turn the damn thing off.
Yeah.
And I finally got it turned off. But my point is that some of these cars, you'd have to have an engineering degree to understand everything it does. I'll bet you I don't understand half of the gadgets that I have got on this car that I've never used, and I don't even know what they are.
No, and that's why
I just wonder about the average person.
Most dealerships hold classes on their cars that they sell now, and there's so much to go over when you take delivery. You cannot absorb it all. So what I tell people to do is, as you experience things like that, write them down or use the voice memo on your phone to make questions, and after a couple of weeks, then go back to the dealer and clear those things up. It really does help. You just can't, when you're sitting there and you've been in a dealership for 4 hours and you've just gone through finance, and then you're getting that magic moment where they're handing you your keys. All at that point you want to do is just leave. You're done.
And you're exactly right. Because I went through the process, and the girl was very knowledgeable, and she explained all this to me. Some of it I absorbed, most of it I didn't. Like I've got the standard GPS, and I still don't know how to other than manually it's supposed to be voice activated, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet, and that's annoying.
So Jerry, about the Denali, the GMC Denali, Yukon Denali, price wise, this is very similar to the Suburban, right?
It is, except this is not the Denali XL, which is the long version.
It's
the smaller one, but it's about the same price as the Suburban you had last year.
They were actually both about $84,000.
Yeah.
And this one's $84,300. I think the Suburban was within a few $100s of that with the extra length. This one does have the big panoramic moonroof, which is a very nice option if you use it. Personally, I always want a moonroof in my car, but I never use it. That's a weird thing. It's been an enjoyable week. I've got the Kia Sorento next week, which is a all-new model for 2021, and Kia and Hyundai are just on fire right now.
You're just messing up the series.
Yes. Yeah,
supposed to have the Yukon XL next.
Yeah, or the Escalade.
All right. Well, so I did notice that on your website, carprousa.com, that you had that Chevy Tahoe and Suburban are coming out with diesels soon. Yes.
Yes, they are. In fact, they'll be here by the end of this month if everything stays on course. And anxious to see what the fuel economy is going to be on those and see if it's going to be worth it. Should have really good towing power. And I mean, this Denali that I'm driving will tow 8,000 pounds. So if a diesel Suburban or diesel Tahoe will do better than that, that's going to be a towing machine. Also there, Matt, we're having a contest. I've given people all the year-end automaker ad campaigns and their names, like Lexus December to Remember. And I've given them all there, and we're asking people to go on our Facebook page and tell us which one they like the best and which one they like the worst. And then on the 18th of December, we'll have a random drawing for $500 to get the money to somebody just in time for Christmas.
Yeah. All right. Well, make sure to check that out at carprousa.com in the news section, right?
Yes, in the news section.
All right. And, Jerry, we want to remind everyone that you're on from 11 to 1 every Saturday here at News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 AM KFYO, and you'll be there this Saturday, ready to go.
I will.
All right.
You guys take care. Be safe.
Thanks, Jerry. You have a good day. We'll be right back on News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 AM KFYO mornings with Dave King and Matt Martin.